Okay, so what's going on? It's been 2 weeks since my last stream. Well, I'm currently working on the new Freeplay menu, which has got amazingly complicated. I mean, the idea is that it's simple. It's simple for someone who hasn't touched Freeplay before to just open it up and get into a game with an objective really quickly. And that's the right, Bigger Death, good to have you back with us. And that's the kind of objective here. Now, it's not very pretty at the minute because it needs to have a visual pass by Matt once I'm done with it, but at the minute I'm trying to get all the functionality working. So oops, I've clearly not connected something up. Okay, right. So on this, yeah, okay. So that's what that was about. I'll show you what I was having trouble with this morning. Is the so there's a colony setup thing here and one here. So this is a section specifically for setting up colonies. This is just a basic setup. So the idea is that you're initially faced with a screen where you can change everything you should need to play a game. And start it. However, if you want more complicated options, you can drill down into the submenus, and that's the idea. Oh, this one's not working. I'll fix that whilst I spotted it. I suspect I know why this is. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Because Uber's is -1. Yeah, problem solved. So this stream's going to be a lot of menu work. So if you're not big on your menus, you'll be able to turn Ubers off and on individually now. So you'll be able to decide if you don't want specific Ubers. So the idea is that if you change something in the basic setup, it changes the other options. So forest only has turned Uber Devil's Coach Horse on because Ubers are on. Now, if Ubers are off, at the minute it'll still be ticked because I haven't added the extra check when you change Ubers on and off. But when I select forest only from there, then yeah, it won't be selected. So you can see the difficulty I've got here. So the different things interact with each other to a level that's making this really complicated. I mean, I spent the last couple of days working on this, getting this. I don't even think it's working 100% yet. Yeah, so that's copying across correctly now. So if I change something in the basic setup, it's changing in the full setup. That's good. Fortunately, the things are disappearing from the edge of the menu, so I need to set limits really. Okay. So I need to decide what the next task is going to be. Yeah, I need to neaten this up by limiting the width of these. I also need to basic setup domination. Is that changing the victory condition? No. Okay. No, so that's not working yet. There's a lot to do on this menu at the minute. That's even after a few days of working on it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll work on the map. Work on the map next, get that changing. I'll also talk about, later today, I'll talk about a couple of changes coming to Freeplay in the next update. And potentially a new map in Freeplay as well coming soon. I haven't started work on it yet, so I can only speculate that I'm going to make it. It's planned. So yeah, this changing map needs to do a couple of things. So changing the map here needs to change it in level setup, I think it's called. Yeah, level setup. It needs to change it here. It also needs to update this. Okay. So let's deal with that, shall we? Okay, so before I lose track, what are these doing? So all of this here is so it's what happens when you change something in basic setup. It's all to do with that. Coming back to this, okay. So if the map changes, first of all, we change the map on that. So there it is. Oh yeah, don't need that. It's just that. Literally just passing that through. And then from the other side of things, we do the opposite. Oh look, it's someone to ban. Fun times, eh? Concept of buying subs is ludicrous. Okay. Okay, so we need to. I'm going to create a function called update map info. Right, so after this has happened, both of these should be displaying the same option. So it shouldn't matter what option I take it from. So just need one of them. So map selection. So option 0 is the dunes, option 1 is towhead, and option 2 is embankment. Let me just take a look at the basic Freeplay setup in this. So this is the old one, so I may as well copy this from this. There is no reason to reinvent the wheel. Looks like I need to make a function called create map image, change map image. So it takes a texture object reference. Oh, the dunes is the only one without a map option, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just going to add in as well. There's so many functions now. Where's the event graph? I think I've lost it. Okay, so that should be the map thing done. Huh. Okay, I think what's happening is the text is stretching towheads. It's stretching towhead vertically, which obviously I can't have. Yeah, that is pretty tight there. I could do with that height not going over the. Problem is, with such a tight space to write text like that, it's very probable the text will overspill. You know what? I've put a size box in. Now, I believe a size box should allow me to set a width and a height. Yeah, it does. I have a sketch of what I plan for this to look like at the end. Might show it to you in a bit. And these might need to be a little bit smaller. I don't understand why the size box is changing size. Maybe there's some sort of rule on it that I haven't spotted. Idea with this space, by the way, is this is going to be the game setup text, which is going to be the description that you either save yourself or is a description of the game type that you've selected. This is going to be the it's going to be a list of map options. I want the text to be smaller, just so you know what the game setup is. There won't be anything you can change there. If you want to change it, you change it down here, and it'll update in here. I'm having a bit of trouble with this size box. I can give this a bit more width. Probably go out as far as there. But one more padding here. Hang on, maybe I've actually put something wrong in the thing that changes the map info. Maybe that'll help. Still definitely feels like it's moving. Maybe I'm going mad. No, the description text is moving. Yeah, the bottom line is definitely moving. Maybe that's actually to do with the alignment. It might be actually. Let's try that. Okay, that now no longer looks like it's moving. It looks like this text is moving, but it no longer looks like that box is moving. So that's what was happening. This was expanding, and that was moving position to match the expansion. But that's okay. Right, give me a sec. I need to find. I've got a description somewhere of the different game modes. Here we are. Okay, so we're going to handle this now. So we've done the map, and changing that here should also change it in the level setup, which I think's there. Yeah, embankment. And if I change it here, it should also change it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to work on what happens now when you change the game type. Now, already a bunch of stuff is happening. Hang on. Something I've been intending to add in for a while now. So essentially what that's meant to do is meant to save what you had selected last, but only the game type. So I've got conquest set there. Have I changed to domination? Stop, play again. No, it's still conquest. I probably haven't probably didn't finish that. Just have a look. Right, it's telling me the previous game selected was conquest, so it looks to me like it's an issue with the. Oh, it looks like it was doing it anyway. Must have already added it in. Oh yeah, there. Sorry, I've darted from to a different task here. Okay, so for some reason it's storing last selected game type when you start. Let's figure out when it's running this. I'm guessing that must run at the beginning. Right, so it looks to me like it's resaving it as soon as it starts. It's a little bit annoying. That seems daft functionality. Does that happen for everything? When I start, no, it doesn't. I bet it's to do with selected option being set by bet it's this. optionally calling something setup. Yeah, found it. Okay, so this should work. It's equal to nothing. I believe this is right. So yeah, that's if it's doing the player setup. That should be fine. I just need to make sure this defaults to 1. I think that'll work now. So that's on save setup. Change it to conquest. Cancel. New game. No, it's gone back to save setup. Question is why. Selection reset. False. It shouldn't change anything here. Just see if either of those is running. No. It's still storing it on load. So no matter what I do, it's just going to default it. Yeah, it's not to do with that save selected option. Maybe it happens whenever there's an option added to it. I don't know where that's being called from. That's the issue. This is being called from some other restore. Don't care about that at the minute. Can I track it back? Huh. It's this that I need to track. Clear options calls it. Huh. Might be that. Yeah. Oh, it's called it again. Where from? Set selected option. Set selected option causes it to save. Okay, so now at least it is saving the option correctly. I'm nearly there with this. This is getting a bit fiddly, to be honest. I'm in the wrong thing here. Yeah, there is an option. Shouldn't be there. I think that's just the restore that's doing it. The restore shouldn't okay. That looks like it's working now. Whew. Okay, so I'm gonna get myself a cup of tea. I'll be back in a second. Right. I'm going to go through the process of adding tooltips to drop downs because I figured it out. So as you see, there's no tooltips coming up at the minute. So player doesn't really know what they're getting into when they select one. However, there is a way to do it. Ready? It's quite involved. It's going to take me blooming ages to get through all of this. First of all, I'm just going to put the descriptions of the various game modes into variables which can be accessed from anywhere. Domination next. I'm just gonna go. Should remove that one. There's one I had in here called Freeplay, but I realised it was doing exactly, it was set exactly the same as custom. 72 customs. Hi, please decree. Hi 105 Miguel. Good to have you with us. Oh, I love to program. Ha 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 ha. Loud and long and clear. Okay. Let's actually add the descriptions into these descriptions. Spotted a typo. Okay, so the descriptions exist somewhere now. Now, as the player changes the game type, so too will the description change. Yeah, I remember where they're currently stored now. Here. Here, sorry. I'm essentially centralizing all these descriptions so I can access them from elsewhere. So I'm going to put them in here as well. What's this? Hunter description. Finally I caught a stream. Right. Raccoon 0611. Good to have you with us. Yes, you finally did catch a stream. Well done. What's this biomass? I'm afraid this isn't the most exciting stream. I'm working on on interfaces at the minute, just menu interfaces. There's a couple of exciting things to talk about. A couple of new options coming to Freeplay. But we will get there. Okay, so that's in there now. Now I should be able to set up text. Yeah, that's fine, I think. This is what. Okay, so switch the game type runs. I think that will correctly add the description. I think. Yeah, that. Okay, saved setup didn't work. Why didn't saved setup work? I believe it's there in the pre-setups. Yeah, saved setup. Ah, is it handled differently here? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's just test that out. I'm then going to go into what options are good. What are the options? At the minute, a lot of what I'm doing is just setting up a free play game a lot quicker. So the idea is that there's the options here which set the game up for you. You do some other basic options, but all the other options that are still there. They're all still there. It's just they've been this menu this menu is designed to be a one-stop, like a quick setup, so you can just quickly pick a thing you want to do. Yeah, it should mean people can get into a free play game a lot quicker. And then if they want to drill down into the other options, they can. There's also, okay, I'll speak about the couple more options I'm bringing in as well. So first of all, there is a disable entering other colonies option now. So enemy colonies won't be able to attack you, and you won't be able to attack enemy colonies if you have that one on. So it's basically a way of preventing the enemy, an enemy colony killing you, or you killing enemy colonies. With the right victory conditions, you can still win with that. So some of the victory conditions are like to get to a certain score. So maybe you can't go into each other's nests, but you've still got to beat them to a certain score. So that's one option. The other one that I'm going to bring in the level setup is randomized caverns. Now, I haven't done anything with this yet. Either next week or the week after, I'll be implementing that. But basically, what it'll do is it doesn't touch the computer's underground, but in the player's underground, it will remove all the caverns and creatures that are currently under there, and replace them with randomized ones. So similar to what you get in what's it called, Extremis. It will place less dangerous caverns near you, and then more dangerous ones further out. And you can there's a slider on how that's not working, but slider on how resource heavy or dangerous you want the caverns to be. So yeah, some fun options coming in. Randomized caverns should make the underground interesting each time you play, because you don't know what you're going to get. So yeah, they'll be coming in with the next patch as well. Should be a proper, like when this patch comes out of beta testing, it should be a proper large slice of content for people. These will have victory conditions on them, by the way, all of these. I need to add in the description of and that lot there. Still loads to do, but anyway, so I need to make the hover over these, bring up the tooltips so you know what you're selecting before you click it. Now, to do this, there's a little event down here on generate widget. Now I'm going to have to do this for every drop down in order to get this to work. Okay, so this string is the text that's in the combo box. I need to get the combo box itself. Sorry. Right, so I've got to know what order things come up in the box, which I do. So it's saved to start with. Saved, then conquest, domination, survival. I think it's just in order now. You alright, Daniel Sly? Good to have you back with us. It's a bit of a quiet stream today. I think I noticed this. If I miss a stream in a week, like I did last week, the following week's stream tends to be quieter. I think because people don't know whether I'm going to stream or not, which makes perfect sense. I love connecting wires. Too fiddly. Okay. Question is, what did I just do? So many wires connecting. Oh, the description, yeah, okay. Okay, so there we are. So that's much better. Currently in the game, the options, the drop downs don't highlight options, but I did figure it out in the end how to get UMG to do it. It's just, unfortunately, it's not a quick process, so it's going to take me ages to go through all of these drop downs and set them all up. I mean, not all of them need it. Like this doesn't need it. That can just have a single thing saying colony species, and that can be form corrupted colony species. Colors and team number don't need it. Difficulty, I think, could do with it. So difficulty and enemy cheats, both of those definitely need it. The maps, yeah, I'd give it to the maps as well. In fact, I can just pull the map ones out of this. Right, so what do I do next? I guess I apply it to maps, don't I? Something else I was considering as well is giving a description above that description. So one that describes game type rather than the specific game type you've got selected. No, I think people will get the idea of game type by reading the description. Probably don't need to change that. Yeah, but there are some things that I think do need a description with the drop down. Anyway, keep going. Tooltips, I think, are one of the best ways of teaching players. Absolute best ways. Because they're not intrusive, like a lot of things. You get the information when you need it. Right. So next I'm going to do it with these maps. Let's do that. But I also need to do it, if I'm going to do the maps, I need to do it on both sets of maps. That said, I can possibly bind them set to the same thing, because they should have the same tooltip. So here's maps. CNR Ragnarok. Good to have you back with us. Nagarok. CNR Nagarok. Good to have you back with us indeed. Right. So again, I'm going to put the descriptions into a generic variable here just so I can access them easier from elsewhere. So hey, don't worry, you're not the only dyslexic here. I'm dyslexic too. You may notice my awful spelling sometimes during the stream. Or should I say inconsistent spelling? Sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong. What's it called? Embankment. Something I found fascinating is my my typing speed is much quicker than my writing speed. It might just be practice. I have been challenged, former carrier challenged to workers only on Insane. That is quite a challenge. I think that would take a lot of grinding to get enough workers to survive that, or resources. Okay, so the map descriptions, I believe, are currently just plonked somewhere. Well, what would be an obvious way to find them is to take a look at what happens when you change map, right? Just follow that through. Here they are. I can actually see doing this actually wipes out the localization, but I can rescue it for stuff. Although it's going to be hard to remember where everything is, to be honest. So we end up costing ourselves money if I don't do this. So if you have a look down here, there's a package, a namespace, and a key. Now, if the namespace and the key match something, match another text box, then they're counted as the same, and the localization matches up. So, because particularly as these are quite big chunks of text, I'm gonna rescue that from the basic Freeplay setup. Again, follow through what happens when you change the map. Here. Okay, so I should just be able to bring this through. I think this will just all say neutral UI text, and then the keys are going to be the important one. River Island description. Sounds like product placement. Okay, so that should have rescued the descriptions from the localization. 0FA. Let me see if that's actually now matches. No, it doesn't. But I believe that rescues it. Okay. So, anyway, those descriptions are there, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm actually here for this. I need to take what happens here. Oh, of course, you got to remove the end one on an int switch. Right, coming back to chat for a second. $127 workers on defense, 16 level 3 for eggs, and the queen 7. 10,000 food, 33 levels of movement speed. Rotating 2 workers to egg group mid challenge. It's a great plan. You're right, Hoff. Good to have you with us. It's half an hour left of the stream. Okay, so that should be done, I think. Should we have a check? Oh, I also wanted to apply it to the other. That's these tabs there. So that should be exactly the same as the other one. Okay, let's give that a go. But that's not producing any sort of tooltip, damn it. Okay, so what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Ah, that's what's wrong. Ah, and that's also going to cause a problem. Yeah, that's going to cause a problem. Is it? Oh no, it might be alright. Map option text. Okay, let's try it again. See if that works. Yeah, there we go. Does it work on the... Yep. Sorted. Spiders pushed it over the edge. Tiger beetle lasted too long. You just remodel the entrance. It has to be more open. The model entrance has to be more open. Yeah, I guess with all the when the spiders run in, you need to be able to fight them from multiple points. So if you've still got the tiger beetles up, that is a problem. Okay, so the tooltips are working there. What's next? I'm not sure if I want to give this a tooltip. Name, save, name. Okay. So next, these need tooltips, but just the basic ones. I should be able to copy those from the other Freeplay setup. I haven't done anything with the landmarks yet. Okay. So as you know, I'm working on some sort of bot brain thing, method involving. Yeah, I know you're working on AI, like a brain training thing. On the bot brain on its controller object causes tons of exceptions. Method invoking on the bot brain on the controller object causes tons of exceptions, but from that I can see that it is trying to do all sorts of things. So very soon get a valid action out of it. Keep working on your bot that's gonna dominate the world. Off, you'll get there. Okay, well that wasn't meant to happen. As soon as I've changed that, it's changed everything to Gene Thief rather than off. Off isn't being copied across correctly, is it? Because there's no option for off on the main page. Right, well there's something I've got to do. Okay, to give these the option to be off. I think the off option's just given in the event graph somewhere. It's just the computer players that have the ability to. Be off. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, has that fixed it, or is that still broken? Ah, it's still not worked. Oh, form corrupt the species, damn it. Ah, it's because they're wrong here as well. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, that's I'm looking at the wrong thing though. And that's wrong. Oh, look at that. That's form corrupted species. Blooming neck. I could have gone horribly wrong. Good job we spotted that. It's a bug waiting to happen further down the line. And I'm sure Hoff will have spotted it for me. Loves finding bugs. Problem is I've got naming inconsistencies here. Species, species, colony, species. Here I Daniel Sly. Yes, I still have your save. I also have one of Hoff's saves here now. You see, because Hoff sent me a save to try and help me debug something. By the way, John, you have glasses. I don't remember seeing you wear them. I do, yes. I haven't been wearing them, and I hadn't. I was prescribed glasses. I think the last time I went to the opticians was about 4 years ago, and they gave me glasses for reading, and I didn't wear them, and over the past 6 months, I've noticed things are getting harder to read and more blurry, so I've started wearing them. I'm going to go to the opticians again next week, because if I'm actually wearing the glasses now, which I am, because I've got things are getting harder to see, and I should probably get the correct prescription, because my prescription has probably changed. As you can see, they're the cheapest pair I could find at Specsavers. They're not really a fashion accessory. Maybe we should get big star ones like Elton John. Okay, so what's next? Half the time spent with this menu is trying to figure out what's the next thing to do. Right, I've got to add tooltips to all of this. See, I was intending to go through it and do it from top to bottom, and I'm getting there with that, although I haven't done all these yet, like the setups aren't properly set up yet. But I may as well continue on along my line of equip scope plus 5 to perception, -1 to headache. We split some of the worker force. I can camp the roofer and erect the tubes. Ooh, camping the tubes. There used to be a bug in there that you could win. I think you could win the game early, but I think that one's been removed now. We dealt with that bug. If you camp the tubes, you could. If you managed to kill all ants at one point during the last section of the game, it would win the level before a lot of stuff had spawned. You see that? That is the design document for 2.2. There's the 2 colonies, there's the players' colonies, there's the aphids. That's actually the design document. See this? This is the design document for upgrades, I believe. So this is points. Upgrade points. The deeper the red, the more points it has, I believe. Don't know what is. That's some sort of design document right there, but there's no image to give it away. This was from right back at the beginning, where we were trying to decide what the Slug Disco logo should look like. So there's 3 different attempts at Slug Disco logo, and that's the one that won. I think these are other level design documents. Oh, here's some more attempts at Slug Disco, plus another name we were playing with. And here's another name we were playing with as well. That's in fact, I think that these look like the same. This is all the same document. I like that picture of a slug. That's the Amphax poster. I don't think there's anything else interesting. There was one here. That's 2-1. It's 2-1's design document. Sly Slug, yeah, that was there. That was one of the names we were toying with at the beginning. Community Humbug? Maybe it's handling. Maybe it's just talking about trying to do community stuff. Community stuff is so alien at the beginning. See, Matt sometimes hides stuff on levels like this. Is there anything in the cupboards? looks like we've dug through all the secrets there are to find in here. Okay, so what were we doing before I got sidetracked? Okay, so yeah, if I go into basic setup, actually enemy colonies. Right, do these have tooltips? Can I just steal the tooltips I wrote before for them? No. Oh, some of them do. Oh, the unit options. Of course they do. Oh. Right, well, gonna start from the beginning. These don't have things, so I'm just gonna add one. Though I'm gonna grab this from here because at least that'll show me how to do it, remind me how to do it. So what's that? I think I can just bind that to all the others. Yeah, because it's so simple. So the next one should be pretty much just as simple as this. It's just the Formiciraptor colony one. So I don't want to call this species. Just say Formiciraptor colony. It's fine. The stream's coming to an end. I'll just bind these and then leave it there. I'm on the wrong thing. There's the other ones. Maybe I should make it not pop up if it's disabled. Yeah, I think so. Oh, but no. No, I can't do that because it's all bound to the same thing. Oh, it's man, it's not so bad. Anyway, right, just gonna have a quick look at things that have been submitted to the source control over the past couple of weeks. Okay, so may as well mention it to you now. We're going to be for sale on the Epic Store as well. So we've been trying to get stuff in for that. So that's taken some time because we're trying to get like achievements working with the Epic Store tie-in. What else? So a lot of the stuff is fixes for the fire ant bridges. You're probably not surprised to hear that there's still stuff to do on them. When did we last stream? See, I've been working on this menu now for probably a week and a half. It's amazing how many things there are to tie into each other in this menu. So there's some, yeah, it's bridges, that's firing bridges. That's me working on menus. That's the Epic Store stuff going on. More work on bridges relating to paths. Work to deal with ants being stranded the other side of the bridge. So if the bridge, for whatever reason, collapses or disappears, then the working on behaviour on the other side of the bridge. I believe the ants panic for a little bit and then die if they're left stranded. Some bug fixes for the bridge. Bridge movement fixes. It's me working on. That's me making Freeplay. Making it so the enemy colonies don't attack if you have that option selected, or you can't attack them. So actually, I did do a tiny bit of work on Freeplay, but it's mostly just been this menu. There's a problem with pathing from the top of waterlogged ramps. Still more menu work. Preventive markers being placed on bridges. Movement fix to stop ants crossing unfinished bridges. So yeah, it's mostly been bridge work. Oh, do you mean right? Caverns are they're the areas underground that when you dig into them they open up. So like level 1-1 is full of caverns that have food and enemies in. You'll be talking about it because of the option that's in the menu, the new Freeplay menu, and this is something I intend to add. I haven't added it yet, but it's randomized caverns, so it will act similarly to how it works on Extremis, as in it will put weaker caverns closer to you and harder caverns further away. You can move sliders to adjust the cavern danger and resources that they hold. So yeah, and so yeah, it's basically a way to make. Well, you'll have a more random element on Freeplay, so Underground will be different each time if you turn it on. So yeah, it's a feature coming into Freeplay. It's randomized caverns. The only other new option is disable entering other colonies, so prevents anyone, including you and the computer, from attacking in each other's colonies. Okay. More army ants. Good old army ants. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks very much for joining me. As always, it's good to have you. Good to have you with us, and good to have a chat about how things are going. I should be back next week. I'll aim for Wednesday next week. So I'll be back next Wednesday. I should have this menu done by then, and I'll pass it on to Matt. I'm intending to work on it a bit over the weekend, when I can find patches. So hopefully over the weekend it'll be done. I can pass it on to Matt to make it pretty the week after. The plan is to have these tabs at the side be large things with icons, and for this to be a panel similar to the victory or defeat kind of panel. It's like big chunky panel, and then here is meant to be a short list of options you've got selected to let you know. And this whole thing is set up designed for a new player to just quickly be able to set up a game and go, rather than having to go through a myriad of options. They just select the game type they want to play, select the enemy colonies, select the environmental difficulty, and which enemies. School year started. It's good. School's important, so make sure you you're a fan. I'm afraid you're slightly late. I'm about to end, but yeah, it's okay. We'll continue releasing new maps and things. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me. The stream should be available to view as soon as I end it, so you can rewatch it if you want. Yes, thanks very much for joining me, and I will see you all next Wednesday is the plan. But yeah, I realise that you've all got that not all of you, but some of you have school now to be attending. Good luck with your challenge. See you later. Bye.